So after waiting for several months, I finally got my vintage air system, and this car had air conditioning in it. Hadn't worked for years. So I bought the vintage air system for cars that were equipped off of the showroom floor with air conditioning, and I assumed incorrectly, as it turns out, that they would use the existing ducting to move the air to the cabin and to the defroster and to the floor. And when I say to the cabin, I mean the dash vents for the air conditioning. So it turns out they don't. They give you all new stuff that is different, so you can't just put it in there. So in reading the instructions, you have to remove the entire dashboard, because first they tell you to remove this passenger side, then they tell you to remove the center, I believe, and then the next one they remove the driver's side, and then further on in the instructions you have to remove the dash pad. So you're going to have to be inside that car quite a bit. I just don't feel comfortable doing that with this body of 800 pounds or so on this dolly with casters on it. So after thinking about it for a bit, I decided that the best way to approach it is going to be to just take the body, put it on the chassis, even though the chassis doesn't have an engine or transmission. But if I put at least body mounted bolts in the number 2 and number 3, or as I call the passenger side, 6 and 7, then I can get in the car and not worry about it rolling off of the lift with those casters, or my dolly not being heavy duty enough to take that weight. So I'm going to have to reinstall my straps that I lifted with, and I had put them right about here with I believe a 16 millimeter long extension, or a long socket rather, to keep the hook from digging into the body, and that worked well. And then on the front, I put them here again with the 16 metric socket under there to keep it away from the body. And then I will drop, I'll do that on both sides of course, then I will drop the body back off, the dolly, by lowering the lift, and I'll push the chassis onto the lift and just raise it up under the body. And I'm going to video that, even though I'm going to video it again when I do the final install of the body. But you know, more videos out there, more opportunity for people to be able to find what they're looking for on YouTube. So I'm going to shut off the camera and hook up those straps and get ready and move the chassis out from underneath and get ready to do that. Okay, in keeping with my motto of showing the good, the bad, and the ugly, I've got these hooked on to the bird cage nice and tight, except for one thing. I forgot to raise the lift up off of the locks before I put those on. So when I raise it up, those are going to get some slack in them, and those Spacers may fall off, the hooks may fall off. We'll have to see what happens. If I can get it up off the locks without those falling off, I'll be happy. So I've moved the camera to the other side where the controls for the lift are. And you can see where they're connected on the right side and left side of the frame there. So we're going to see if we can get it off without those slipping out. Okay, that's off. I'm going to lower it slightly. And I'm going to go over and check the other side, make sure those are still in place. Actually, I'll check all four. With more than just a kind of long distance visual on them. Okay, got lucky. They all seem to have stayed in place, and I'm off of the locks on the lift. I'll just have to climb over the tractor because the tripod's in the way of the walkway, and then continue to lower it down slowly. Another quick check. This time I'm not going around at each one of them, I'm just doing them visually because I don't think anything's changed from before. In the back that I need to make sure isn't going to get caught on the lift as it goes down. I think we're good. So what I didn't mention in the lead-up video to this is that I am going to raise the lift back up again after I get the dolly out from under it and put some jack stands under where the body mounts are, because there were a couple of screws on the rocker panel covers that broke when I was taking them off, and I'm going to try to weld nuts on them and pick them out from the back side. I'm not taking this all the way down because I still have those guides for the I still have guides there for the dolly when I rolled it on. So I'm going to need to take those off before I can get it down to ground level to push the chassis on. Okay, I'm going to raise the lift up with jack stands to go underneath of the places where the body mounts go. shut it off while I'm raising it the majority of the way. Okay, so we're getting close. I am going to align the jack stands. Okay, there's the body mount. Keep in mind, this is only going to be temporary while I'm taking out these bolt holes. Get my body mount hole. There it is, way back there. I'm going to go line the two on the other side. Okay, I've got them all so that if I raise it a little bit, I get contact. Now I've got contact. Since I have them, the body supported on the jack stands, I am going to raise it up high enough to get the lock to engage, and then lower it back down onto the lock. Take it high enough for the lock to engage. I lost one of my straps on the other side. Two straps. There's the lock engaging. So the body's wholly supported on the jack stands now. I'll have to reconnect these whenever I'm ready to put the chassis under it, because I'll need to support it only by the straps. Again, roll the chassis under it, and then there's the chassis up to the bottom. Okay, in the meantime, I'm going to take the guides I had on for the dolly, remove those, and see if I can get the welder set up to weld a nut onto the back side of these 3 screws here that snapped whenever I was trying to take them off. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully I can get a nut welded on the back side and then just thread those all the way through. The heat from welding it on generally loosens the rust, so should be good once I do that. So I'm going to try to give you a view of what I'm doing here. Those are the 2 ends of the screws that were sticking through that have the heads knocked off on the other side. So what I'm trying to do, I've already put little nuts on them, and hopefully I can see. Well, let's do this one first because it's the one I can see. Okay, well, I'm not going to be able to get a socket on that. I'm going to have to try it with a wrench. Maybe vice grips or something. Channel locks, vice grips, something of that nature. So the problem there was that I kind of missed and built up some weld on the side of the nut. That's why a socket won't fit on it. But hopefully it's loosened it up and I can turn it. Well, the weld wasn't very good, so I have to put a welding helmet on and try that again. This time I brought a pair of pliers over with me so I could cut my wire. That was one of my problems, the wire was too long. Problem is, if I put the light where I want it, I'm not going to have a angle where you can see. plan doesn't work, I'll have to come up with something else. I hit that. I don't think I got the bolt welded on there either. I should say the nut. I have used this technique successfully in the past, but I will say this, it was in a much easier to access spot. And I wasn't trying to video and have light where you can see. I have short sleeves on and I put Kevlar sleeves on, but they don't go all the way up. Getting sprayed with hot metal. Now, I am going to shut the camera off since this isn't working too well. I'm going to attempt to do it this way some more. And see if I can get some success. If not, I'll have to figure out something else. So in about an hour, I was successful in getting one of the two remaining ones off. Did it with the same technique. I just kept welding on that stud, and it finally got enough heat on it that it broke the rust bond. Problem with the third one is I did the same thing and it snapped off on the other side, so now I've got it snapped off on both sides. There's a little bit of a stub. And based on my success with this one, I think I'm going to try welding on it a little bit more. If that doesn't work, then my only recourse is to drill it out and tap it, but that's a last resort. So I've officially given up on trying to take that stud out by using a welder, at least for today. It's getting late and I want to try and get the body on the chassis. That one and that one I got out. So 2 out of 3. If I was a Major League Baseball player, there'd be a special place for me in the Hall of Fame. So I may try to weld that some more after I get it on the frame, but the only part I have to work with is on the outside, so I don't need to be under the vehicle in order to get at it. And if that fails, which I think it will, it's time to drill it and tap it. That's about as good a view as I can get of the lift and the body at the same time. I'm going to roll the chassis in. Okay, I need to get that aimed a little over to the left. Hopefully an old man can shove this in. Just straighten those front wheels a little bit. Wheels look lined up pretty good. The rear wheels could be over to the side a little bit. I think I can lift this and move it, so just have to adjust the body with it coming down, or actually it'll be the chassis going up. The body will sway on those straps, so I can align it to the chassis. And that's all I need. take these ramps off. It's not aligned good, it's got to come back some, so I'm going to put some shocks here so that I can't roll it off the end of the ramp. Get these ramps out of the way so that I don't run into them. Another chock on this end. And there are a couple of alignment holes in the chassis and in the body. Do once I locate them. We're too far to the front yet. Try going up a little bit more. Close to the point where we're going to need to align the body with the frame. There's one alignment hole on each side. On the passenger side, it's in front of the rear wheel, and then the driver's side, it's in front of the back of the front wheel. So what I do is I find an extension I don't remember whether I used 1/2 inch or 3/8. Okay, this one's too long, but probably was 3/8. But you can use any kind of bar. Matter of fact, that's what I am going to use. I've got bars from, these are from a tool to wind a garage door spring. So basically what I'm going to do, I hope I didn't screw myself up. And I go lower it a little bit. Didn't screw myself up badly, but I think I'm going to reposition this camera so that you can see down the driver's side to see what I'm doing. I'll zoom her in a little bit too. don't think I'm going to use those. They're too long, and I think I have a better option with some 3/8 inch ratchet extensions. So what I'm going to do, hopefully this will fit under the frame without me doing anything else to it. Here's my lining hole. I am going to put 2x4s or 4x4s or whatever it takes to get that lined up. Looks like laterally it's pretty good. It needs to go back a little bit. Still needs to go back. Let's go back about 3 inches, so put that about 3 inches from my tire. Hopefully that'll do it. I'm moving it the wrong way. Let's go 3 inches other way. That's going to be pretty close. Now there's a little plug in here. Unfortunately, I should have left the darn thing so that I had the door open. I think I remember that from the last time. It's easier if you have the door open, and I have this strap holding the door shut. So without taking it down and repositioning and everything, that's really not an option. So I kind of screwed up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is put boards under here. Hold this up, this alignment rod. And I got to do the same thing on the other side. And the other side, unfortunately, I don't have quite as long an extension, so I might need an extra 2x4 in there to hold it up. The point is, as I come down on this, because the door's shut, I'll have to take these spacers out a little bit at a time, making sure that the alignment rods still contact the bird cage or the frame. Those alignment rods can't go too far up into the body because I didn't open the doors. Kind of a problem if they go too far up. They'll hit the bottom of the door. Okay, I have alignment rods in place. I'm going to put two more in here on this side because just to show you what I've got going on the other side with a shorter extension. So that just holds that alignment rod up. And make sure I have it in the picture. And be back to raising it a little bit. It's in the picture, but you can't see it very well without zooming in some. So I think it's in the picture. Yes, it's in the picture. I'll point it out whenever I go over there to raise it up. Here's the extension that I'm using to align it. There's a hole, actually a plug, right up there that I'll line it up with. So I'll slowly lower this. Oops. I feel like I'm lowering the body onto it, but I'm not. I'm raising the chassis to the body. Must have been hung up on something in the back. About 2 inches to go before that alignment rod will be hit. safety catch plug in. This is almost perfectly aligned. So now, because this is getting too close, I'll take out one of these. Got plenty of room on the other side. And I'll raise it up another 1.5 inches. Still aligned almost perfectly. Just going to go look at the other side real quick. Make sure we're good over there. We've got a couple inches to go before this is going to be hitting. Apparently, well, that's a longer extension I'm using on the driver's side, so I guess I can't make any firm judgments about what's going on here. Take out another 2x. Raise her up another couple inches. And I'll continue to do this. I guess now might be about the time to think about putting some motor mount or body mounts under there. Should have opened those up, but I didn't. So I'm going to shut the video off and go open them up. So body mounts 2 and 3 go in like this: a flat washer, body mount with this flange up, and a spacer in there. I've already put the one in the back. I'm going to slip this one in the front and then lower it down. I should say raise the chassis up. And I might need to move my alignment rod. Lined up pretty much perfectly. And I can see that the stem is going through the body mount hole there. And with a little adjustment, I can make the one in the back do the same thing. Keep bumping it before I intend to, when I go to reach it, and then and moving it out of position. Okay, that should work. Bring it up just a little bit more. The right side of the body is down lower than the left, so that's going to work to my advantage. I can work on this side, get it lined up, and go to the other side.
plenty of room to work with over here yet. Lined up perfectly. This one could use a slight adjustment. That one's going to go through the hole now. I'm at the point where I wish I had taken the little cover plate that covers the number 3 mount out, because I could put a bolt down through there. I can only go up about a half an inch there for that, just on this. So. Getting in my way, I can't get my head in there. Okay, that front's going in perfectly. Pretty sure the back is too. Yep. So I can bring that up and go to the other side and do the same thing on the other side. I feel like we're contacting the motor, the body mounts on this side. So I'm going to have to bring it down just hair to get my alignment right out. Done with that. Okay, I'm not going to video doing the other side because it's just more of the same. Slowly raising the chassis up, putting the motor mount or body mounts in, and making the fine tuning adjustments. And so I'm going to turn this off for now, especially since there's only 1 minute left on the battery.